What's up, nerds? We are your hosts. I am Jake.
And I'm Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We're also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week we have a few guests on the show to talk about Battle of the Sketches, where we get to talk about their struggles of being working artists, where they find their inspiration, and their process for completing these weekly drawing challenges and deadlines for their actual job. Battle of the Sketches is a thing for fun, and then these guys and girls also do this for like their jobs as well. So
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. And we'll also be talking about House of the Dragon. I think it's episode 6 or 7. Um you're right, it is episode 7, which is streaming on HBO Max. So, let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast. Nerd.
Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd.
Yeah. How was your week?
I was going to, you wrote it.
I forgot
Jake,
to change
how was
that
your week?
one cue on our notes.
I was like, are you saying that part? So I paused. Sorry for the awkward pause, everyone. My week
Awkward
was fine.
pause. Yeah.
Week was fine. Yeah, got the dog spayed. Went to a wedding over the weekend. Um, Other than that, it's been pretty. Oh, you came over. We played some Halo. That was fun.
That was fun.
Other than that, not much. How about you?
Well, I went over to your house and played some Halo. My week was very just nothing going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, I renewed my car insurance.
Woo!
Yeah, that was fun. I did go and pick up. Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear that.
You can. You can.
Yeah, there was sirens in the background. My bad. Um, I also picked up some like art material, both from you, and then I also went and got some like sketching pencils and stuff like that, because I'm going to be participating in Battle of the Sketches, and considering the fact that I don't draw, I'm fairly happy with where my sketch is at so far. My proportions are definitely off. For like one leg is just take my
It looks
strong
good.
leg.
No, it looks good. I saw it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I got some more work to do on it, but I have till the day that this episode actually comes out. So by the time you guys are listening to this, it won't matter
Yeah.
because I'll be done with it.
Yeah. So this week we're doing the battle this whole month, but this week we're doing Battle of the Sketches, and we did a werewolf theme for the week. So everybody participating is drawing werewolves, and then next week, after you guys hear this episode, the following week will be the Bride of Frankenstein. So look forward to that.
Yeah, and if any of you want to participate, all you have to
Do it.
do is create a sketch drawing. If you don't want it to end up on our gallery or in our web store for this month, that's totally fine. But all you have to do is post it to Instagram, to your story, and to your page, and just use the hashtag Battle of the Sketches.
Mm.
That's it. It's a
Yeah.
fun way to share your art. I'm really excited about it because I'm not a very good artist, but I'm hoping to learn some things. So, also,
Yeah, I'll say some
oh
stuff going on in the nerd world.
yeah, like what,
Yeah.
Jake?
Well, should we start with She-Hulk and get She-Hulk out of the way for the week?
Yeah, we should.
Not a ton to talk about this week. It was a fun episode. It was enjoyable, funny, like they've all been, but it didn't really go anywhere, which has also been unfortunately
Yeah,
the
it's still
pattern.
bringing in a bunch of like D-list heroes and villains.
Mm,
She's at the Emil Blonsky's like Serenity retreat.
mm,
She ends up actually like really enjoying herself there. Uh, but she had to go check on him because his ankle monitor was malfunctioning because
yeah.
he touched an electric fence trying to save a chicken.
But more importantly, go on, say that thing.
Jake's theory from last week as to what was going on, he is right. the dude from the wedding was just
Josh,
trying to Josh was just trying to get close to her so that he could steal her blood,
which he did.
which he did. After date number 3,
Hmm.
they banged.
They
Bang.
banged.
Bangity bang. I said a bang, bang, bangity bang.
Yeah, yeah. He injected her with a needle, and then I was
Then
gonna
he
say
took her
took some
blood.
blood. Why are you looking at me like
I was waiting for
that?
you. If you didn't finish it, then I was going to be like, and then he took her blood.
Yeah. Pause intended. Uh, but really, there's no end credit scene, and there is still no Daredevil.
Still no Daredevil.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
Yep.
Just kidding.
Already happened. But also, we did get the Wakanda Forever full feature trailer.
Yeah,
Technically, it's like trailer 2 because the teaser was long enough
pretty
to be
long. Yeah,
a full length trailer.
pretty lengthy. Yeah.
But this actually has some dialogue. We get a good look at Namor and his abilities. His
Hmm.
ankle wings allow him to fly just like in the comics. Super, super awesome. I'm so excited for this film.
Yeah, looks awesome. We get Riri Williams
Suited
in
up.
in her at first glance. I was like, oh, Rhodey's in it, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's fucking Ironheart. Dope.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that was cool. And they all she also like I assume it's her first flight in the movie, but she is very reminiscent to Iron Man's first flight, where he's like shoots up towards the sky or whatever, and he's like, woohoo! She literally does the exact same thing.
Yeah,
So it was kind of cool. They like those parallels.
yeah. And I'm excited to see like how Riri is like introduced and built up in this film because I'm
Hmm.
so excited for her standalone show
Hmm.
and just to see more of her because she's an awesome character and just this movie in general. I'm so stoked.
Yeah,
However, if they kill Angela Bassett, I'm gonna be pissed.
I was a little worried, obviously without Chadwick, like who's gonna pick up the mantle and what they're gonna do with it. Are they gonna recast? It looks, I mean, it's not looks like it's been confirmed he's dead in the movie as well.
Yeah,
So, and if I had to guess, they haven't confirmed it, but we think that it's his sister
yeah. That
taking over the
Shuri will
mantle,
be the one
Black
taken
Panther.
up.
Yeah.
We do get confirmation that the new Black Panther is a female character,
Hmm. Hmm.
but we don't see who it is without the mask on. But they've kind of hinted through the markings on the suit versus Shuri's like ceremonial makeup.
Yeah.
But Marvel has been known to do things like that to lead us one way just to change it. So
Hmm.
we still don't know for sure.
Yeah. What else? What else? What else? Blade
Blade.
director, the Blade
Yeah.
director, got I don't know if he got fired or stepped down or
Yeah.
whatever, but he presented his script for Blade and it was only 90 pages. And it only had like two action sequences in it, so he is no longer writing the script for it, and they're
Ooh.
redoing it
Yeah.
with a new director. So,
Yeah.
word is that it is the Moon Knight director, but I don't know that for 100%.
Yeah. I
I
hope
could
so
have
because
said for sure, but I said for 100% because
for 100 uh for 100 uh I would be okay with that because that
yeah,
show is super enjoyable. It did a lot of great character building while still giving you edges of suspense and good at fight sequences and all
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, the fight sequences were amazing in Moon Knight, so I am
yeah.
excited about that. I also read that it's going to take place between 1900 and 1980, like the
Oh,
1980s, the Blade
okay.
movie. So that's interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
So I'd probably jump around a little bit, I assume. Like, or at least maybe that was just the first script that they just scrapped. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be
Yeah.
different now. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. Not me.
Interesting. Yeah, me neither. Also, for upcoming releases, I think back to Blade. I do think that because of that, they mentioned that it's potentially getting pushed back from November of next year to June or July of 2024,
Yeah, it's a
which
bummer.
is a bummer. But if it means that we're getting a better movie, I can live with it, I guess.
Agreed.
But this Friday, Werewolf by Night comes out,
Woohoo.
which is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
And they said it's going to open up a doorway to something like other things that are going to be very important in the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We almost completely blew past like the biggest announcement.
Which was?
Shink, shink.
Oh, yeah. This still might not be real because
It's totally
Marvel has
real.
not said anything about it yet.
Oh, it's real.
I
That'd be
think
the biggest dickhead move. Marvel would have so many pissed off fans. I don't think they would do that.
no, but I think that they might have done this as a way of being like, hey, uh, we're working on it. We want that slot.
Nah, no, it's happening.
I really hope so. But Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds announced by talking about what they're gonna do for Deadpool 3, and he basically said he didn't have any idea, and he's like, we do have one idea though. And then you see Hugh Jackman walk in the background, and Ryan Reynolds is like, would you like to play Wolverine one more time? And Hugh Jackman says, yeah, sure, Ryan. And then that was our confirmation that Hugh Jackman is returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3.
Yeah. It's probably just going to be like a one off kind of through the multiverse to get Deadpool to the MCU.
That's what I'm thinking. I
Uh,
think the movie itself will still take place in Fox universe, and then at
yeah.
the end of the movie, Deadpool will get yeeted over to the MCU side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shut up.
But I also did read, and I'm hoping it's true, that we'll get a comic book accurate Wolverine costume as well in the movie.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything that we have for this first little bit. So let's hop into sponsor number one so that we can get to these interviews.
Yeah. Spon- Every fucking time. Sponsor number one is Ray's Energy Drinks. It's a pickled habanero and garlic. Uh, no, it's a awesome energy drink. It's zero sugar, zero calories, zero crash. They do way more than just energy drinks. Up to like cupcakes in a cup, um, pancakes, other shit. I mean, seriously, check it out. Listen up, I'll tell you more about it.
What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely zero calories, zero sugar, and zero carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Welcome back, everyone. This week, we're super excited. As you can see, if you're watching this, we have a handful of guests with us this week. We have a bunch of awesome artists We're going to be talking about the Battle of the Sketches that we are doing a collaboration with for the month of October. We'll let them introduce themselves because there's a handful of them. And welcome to the show, everyone.
Hi.
Hello,
guys.
hello.
Ken.
Hey.
Who wants to start? Somebody maybe go from top on down, or
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourselves. Who are you? How long you've been doing art? Things like that.
So I should start?
go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Alvaro Feliu. I'm from Peru. I'm actually in Peru. Been doing art my whole life, and about eight solid years, I went into comics. I made the leap into comics, so can't complain. I haven't been able to. I have been able to find work all these years, so I'm quite happy with it.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Jump in?
Tony? Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it, Tony.
My name's Tony. If you're watching me on my Twitch stream, it's Simple Man. But I'm an aspiring comic book artist. I have nothing published professionally yet, but I will. That's not cockiness, that's confidence. I made a promise to my mom before she passed away, and she passed away 2 years ago, that I was going to fulfill my dream, to not give up on my dreams. And so I told her, I said, okay. Well, one of my dreams was always to be a comic book artist, because the NFL's out the window. I'm a bit too old for that now. But yeah, I decided to pursue comic book art. She gifted me with how to draw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers when I was about 6 years old, and it was a gift that, man, it saved me from a lot of pain and heartache and bullies and all sorts of stuff. It just helped me get through life over the past 32 years, and that's just a testament to her. And kind of growing up impoverished, that's really all I had was artwork and a loving mom to kind of guide me and build me up.
Hey guys, I'm Ken Knudtsen. Like everybody else, I've been drawing since I can even remember. And I really started taking the idea of doing comics seriously for a living with that stupid Spike Lee, Rob Liefeld Lee Jeans commercial, where he's like, my parents didn't understand what this was, so I was going to do it anyway. And he seemed to be a cool guy with cool art. And then I found out about School of Visual Arts, so I went to college for art school.
That's awesome. And you guys might recognize Ken from being on our podcast a while back, but yeah. Well, now that we got everyone introduced, what do you guys think about this week's, which was the Werewolves? What do you guys think about that? Is it inside or outside of your spectrum of drawing?
I mean, for me, I have what's the rating on this podcast again?
Whatever you want it to be. We swear all the time.
I had a fucking blast doing this. This is right up my alley in terms of like mood and lighting. And Jerry had kind of given me a challenge. He's like, like try and keep it streamlined. Don't do an overly complicated background. Let's see if you can do that. So I took that as a challenge, and I know for me with the werewolf, I'm like, you know what? He's gonna be rolling his sleeves up to let you know it's time.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, and you turned all of yours in like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken just killed it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like he just blew us out of the water with one piece, but not only that one piece, he turned in all four at the same time. Like, good Lord.
He is the equivalent of Flash in our own Justice League.
Exactly.
Fastest man alive.
Yep.
With a pen.
How about you guys? What'd you guys think?
Can I go?
Yeah, go.
For the challenge for me is awesome because I love October. For me, October is my favorite month of the year. Of course, because of Halloween and all things macabre, which I love. And actually, this challenge, I love the Wolfman. I'm still not done with mine. Actually, I'm in sketches because it came out with this deadline I had to do. So it's either I draw him in this couple of days, or or maybe I turn into one. So whatever comes first. I'm going for both.
Hashtag
Just
fuck
take a
rat.
selfie. Yeah.
Yeah, a few of us are on their way to that Wolfman stage already.
Yeah.
But no, I when I heard about the challenge, like my first thought was, like I've lately just been able to kind of pay homage and like tribute to past artists. Like one of my favorite artists that got me, one of the artists that I read and saw that said, "Hey, maybe I can do this," was Art Adams. He was working on an Incredible Hulk. It was when Red Hulk was kind of big in the storyline. And I have several of the books. I've got a couple of the graphic novels. When I found that Art Adams had done every single one of these characters, I was like, well, why not just do the whole month of tribute to Art Adams? So literally every single piece that I've done this month has been very closely resembles Art Adams posing. It was a lot of fun. I love practicing different artists' techniques and seeing if they kind of akin to what I'm used to doing, how I'm used to shading and hatching and just, gesture drawing their characters kind of to get, to look like theirs. I'm like, wow, maybe this is somewhat similar. I can see how, I tend to move legs a lot. I just, twisting of the knees and pulling out of the, just kind of giving a dip in the knee just suggests so much anticipation to me that I really enjoyed doing that little trick. So it was a lot of fun. It was and it was really fast because Ken had everything done and I was like, oh my gosh, I can get this stuff done.
Set the bar for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Like up here too. I'm like, where is it at again? But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I love Werewolf by Night. I'm super excited for the Disney Plus.
That trailer looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
I was really pumped to do this piece. I think it turned out pretty cool and had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, it looks great. Yeah, I saw, you and I talked a little bit, but yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone's is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. We spoke privately.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got you. But no, it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Had a lot of fun doing it.
Jake and Chad, aren't you guys drawing with us too?
I did. I drew mine and submitted it. It's not up yet, but I did finish mine. It is a toddler's drawing compared to all of you professional artists, but I did submit it. Yeah, we're gonna put them up. So.
I picked up some materials today, so that's what I'm going to be doing after this in the next couple of days, so that it's out, on New Comic Wednesday. If Jake is claiming his is the toddler level, like mine's just baby spit up. I can tell you that right now, but I'm still going to try.
I'm sure your guys' look amazing. I know what we saw from Jake's. That's
a lot of fun. It's fun. It's scary with you guys. You guys are all so good. It's like, I don't want to put mine out there now.
Now, Tony, you kind of mentioned, the inspiration of where your piece came from through like Art Adams. Ken and Alvaro, can you speak on kind of where like your inspiration is going to be drawn from, or Ken, where yours came from?
I mean, I know for me, clearly I respond to very harsh shapes and shadows and stuff. And one of my favorite things that I bought since I moved down to Charlotte was the basically artist edition version of Mike Mignola's Dracula adaptation from like a bazillion years ago that Topps put out. Like I still have those issues, but this is full size, it's black and white, and it's amazingly beautiful. So like when I started looking at because I did want to do all four in one strong run, mostly because I'm getting ready for New York Comic Con now and some other stuff coming up. I wanted to make sure that like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So for me, mood was definitely the key focus for me with all four of them.
For me, well, as I told you, I'm a horror junkie. So some werewolves, like when they called us for werewolves, they just started popping into my head. Like the guys from Underworld and the guy from American Werewolf in London and the shitty sequel from Paris and I have this mashup of my brain was filled with werewolves, but then when they call out the other challenges for this month, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bride of Frankenstein and Creature of the Black Lagoon, which I'm super excited about because I've never drawn that guy, and then The Witch. So I started to see a trend there, right? Like, okay, so we got Bride of Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I knew that my werewolf have to be somewhere in between Lon Chaney's, Benicio del Toro, and Underworld, and my own Twisted Mind there. It's just somewhere between there. I'm going for the classic look, but it's, I don't know, whatever. But the classic look is the the base for it. The classic werewolf, universal werewolf.
So I know that you haven't submitted yours yet. You're still working on it. Obviously, these two have submitted theirs already. I know when I was drawing the one that I drew, I was like, if I fuck this up, what am I gonna do instead? Did you guys have a backup plan if the one that you were thinking was gonna not work out?
I was just getting ready to drag it because Alvaro had mentioned working, using Underworld werewolves, lichens as basis. Well, my initial very first thought was, okay, just homage to the #1 cover. That's all. That's kind of like, to me, that's kind of my baseline. Like, if I'm, and I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of, if I'm out of ideas, like when my poses aren't working, when things, my gestures just like keep coming up with like that, is just bland. Just, kind of try to reimagine that first cover, that #1. And it's usually, it does a good tribute to the original artist. It does a tribute to, the first appearance or whatever. Yeah, that would have been my backup, as an homage to the #1 issue of Werewolf by Night.
I do have when I heard of the challenge, I knew I had this deadline coming, and I'm also going to New York on Tuesday, so time is very tight for me. So I have a couple of sketch covers I did last year, both with werewolves. So at first I thought, well, I'm just going to post this, and so things will go easier for the first week, but you know how it is with artists.
Yeah.
Why should we go the easiest way when you can go the hard, non-sleeping, killing yourself way? It's better always, of course. So, but yeah, my backup plan is one of those covers in case everything goes to waste.
Can you share what either of those covers are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. If I can share my screen, because I have them here.
Yeah. You should be able to.
So you can all see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
A lot of unread emails.
What?
A lot of unread emails there, man.
Yeah, a lot. So so this is my sorry, it's my so I
I'm glad this is what somebody else's looks like too.
What?
A lot of reference photos.
Yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of reference. Okay, so this is one of the covers I.
Oh gosh.
And my reference sick. was
nice.
Underworld, of course. So
that's awesome.
This is one of the backup lines, and the other one is this guy. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Whatever.
God,
that's awesome.
Sick. Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So those are my backup plans, in case. Woo.
Your backup plans are better than my initial plan. So.
How about you, Ken?
I lucked out where the initial idea I had for the werewolf pretty
That's
much
great.
came together like I had hoped.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I lucked out, and this does not happen often. I lucked out with all 4 ideas, with the exception of the witch, because that just kept changing as I was drawing it. But like that just happened to morph from into a better idea overall anyway. So like I was very fortunate when I decided to go through all 4 in one long weekend, that it flowed as well as I could have hoped. Well, anxiety helps too because like
I gotta
you
get
know
this
like,
done.
like either like you got things like, oh, I've got New York coming up, or
Yeah.
I got a midnight call, I got to redraw Brett, like that kind of stuff has a way of helping focus.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a gift because anxiety can also work the other way around.
Yeah.
I got New York, I got to redraw Brett, and you don't, and still have a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper in front of you. So in my case, it works the other way around. Totally.
I think I'm pretty chill when I draw. I think it's more therapy for me than the other way around. Granted, guys, I don't draw for a living, which is probably the biggest point of it I can make is I work a 40 hour plus a week job. This is all on top of that. So, I mean, but I try not to let it get to where it's that stress, because if it does, man, my quality goes in the tank. I turn back into a 12-year-old who's has no idea about contrast and depth and all of it, and all my quality goes right out the window. And I'm like, well, you know what? Then you probably shouldn't be drawing. If that's the case.
Yeah, man. Along those lines, I remember when I was in college, one of my teachers, I was fortunate to have Walt Simonson, and somebody asked him, like along those lines, like, yeah, you got to give 100% all the time, but really you can't. And they asked, like, what do you do when the drawing doesn't work? He's like, I take the time that I would spend drawing and I do art related things. I find reference, I review contracts, I return phone calls, I do emails. He's like, you're not going to be able to draw 100% every day. He's like, the best thing you can learn is how to manage yourself and know when to step back and when to push yourself.
Exactly. Guys.
It's like for me, up until very recently, I was doing 40 hours a week plus retail managing, and it was difficult to manage to get some drawing in when I could, because I knew I would just get more and more miserable the longer I went without drawing. But I didn't want to push it to the point where I hated it either. So it's definitely a balancing act. And just be kind to yourself, man.
And I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm literally balancing it with 40-hour work week is pretty tough. And that's why I lean heavily on, the tributes, the homages to the great artists who have already put their name out there and put, paid their dues, put their time in. So yeah, I think that's big help.
Yeah, and speaking of, tributes and paying homages, when it comes to actually producing art, for you guys, what's kind of your like favorite styles to like draw in, create in, like favorite materials to work with? Yeah.
Go, please.
Yeah, hit it.
One just quick thing for Tony, but it's very important that if you're gonna be you're gonna take serious the whole being a comic artist thing, you need to acknowledge that stuff like anxiety and lack of inspiration are part of the game, and you need to learn how to be able to draw with those guys like swimming around in your head. So it's important, because they will be there, and every day that passes, it will get harder. I can't quit my day job, which is into teaching, and I teach art, so it's related. But I can't resign yet, because I need the money, and I have family. I have a kid, so every day it goes by. I mean, your life can't stop, so it becomes more and more complicated. So
absolutely,
you need to acknowledge that those guys will be there at your side. late at night, late at night. And for me, right now, I'm trying to go. I love watercolor, and of course inks. But right now, I'm trying to train myself into doing doing most of my stuff digitally. Because let's be honest, all the work, almost all of the work, is being done digitally. Like I love to draw and to work traditionally, but digital is the way right now. So I'm trying to do some of the stuff that I can do in paper onto the freaking iPad, because it's different. The friction, the way the pencil goes, like flows on the glass of the iPad is totally different from the paper. So there's some training to do. So I'm trying to train myself for this stuff, for this horror stuff. I swear I'm gonna do all of them digitally. So yeah,
I just gotta
not switching, but trying to train myself more and more into digitally.
I just got an iPad and I'm scared to draw, and I haven't even tried it yet. It's terrifying.
You know, I started, since I'm drawing with the iPad, like really going like weapons hot on the iPad. I started having this shoulder pain, and I don't know, because I'm used to draw, and I've never had this shoulder pain. And then I realized that I'm doing some kind of tension with my, the muscles of my shoulder to control the friction, the lack of friction of the glass. So you can get those shrugged lines and all the stuff that you get on paper, with like trying to recreate that friction with my own shoulder. So yeah,
it's funny that you mentioned that. I literally just everything I do right now is pencil and paper. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because I've been messing around with going from 0.7 to 0.5, 0.3. I've even got a 0.2 that I was using on a panel that I was working on earlier. And for sure, like, I woke up the other day and I was like, what did I do to my shoulder? Like, what? Seriously, did I go lift something heavy in the house? I started thinking, I'm like, did I move a refrigerator or something? Because it was seriously painful. And I was like, I don't do anything but this right here, And then I realized, okay, I literally spent 4 hours drawing with that number 2 and number 3 lead pencil. And in order to keep it from breaking, I had to lift off the paper. I had to hold my arm in a state of tension, drawing that whole time, making sure not to overpressure. And sure enough, I was like, that is exactly what it is. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because as soon as I start doing more and more digitally, I'll probably end up with the same thing. So,
well, you can.
I mean, along those lines with the digital stuff, I know there are definitely exercises to do for your hand and your shoulders. And there are always tutorials on how to better sit. I mean, we're always going to end up hunched over whatever it is we're drawing anyway. But there are definitely things to do to help mitigate that. Like Jake, that looks like a very comfortable chair, and very supportive of back and neck.
This isn't where I draw. I have a completely different desk over there.
Oh, okay.
For that. And the chair is less comfortable than this one. But because, like you said, I'm not leaning, like when I do draw, I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And like, again, like any small thing you can do to help out is always better than nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm trying to get better with digital, and I've certainly made leaps and bounds like in the last 3 or 4 years. But I just wanted to make sure I look this up so I don't fuck up the title. I love Dave McKean's stuff, and Dark Horse recently reprinted something he'd done a couple years ago, Black Dog: The Dreams of Paul Nash, and it's super mixed media, even going back to when he would take photographs of several layers of art and combine it like he used to do for the Sandman covers, and he details these dreams of this artist that was depicting through his drawings World War I, and how each dream sequence morphed into a different style that fit in a bigger narrative. And I showed it the other day at the art studio to someone who wasn't a comic book fan, and like their eyes were just blown. So while I mostly do brush and ink for like the hard graphics and oil bars for and some watercolors for the colors, I'm really feeling mixed media stuff. And the way I usually practice that is through life drawing sessions, where for any pose longer than an hour, I'll bring in random shit, like including like newspaper and glue to start drawing and painting on top of that too, just to try and figure things out.
That's super awesome.
What just to keep it moving here, do you guys have do you have plans for your next week's drawing? I know, Ken, obviously you did yours already. But for example, like my idea for next week, I haven't even started it yet, so I may scrap the whole fucking thing and start over, but I was gonna do the Bride of Frankenstein as like a pinup girl. But who knows if it'll work out that way. Do you guys have a plan already in your mind or in motion? Nothing.
Have you guys gotten mine yet?
Oh yeah, we got yours. We did
all
get yours.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
These
Oh,
questions
man, maybe
were
I did.
our questions were like pre-written out. So.
Okay. Well, I just to speak to that, I actually am starting on another piece for Bride, because like I said, I've got to draw as much as I can.
And
to
you
get
you
better.
can submit more than one too. Like
And-
we'll post it all. Yeah.
Yeah, and what if you guys want to post it, whatever, please don't feel bad for not posting it. It's like I did this Werewolf by Night #1. I still plan on finishing it, just because it's more work for me. It's more practice. I've got several comic book panels that I've started that I've kind of just played with some storylines, because at the end of the day, I'm eventually going to have to make one choice.
I don't have. I have a good a nice image for the Black Lagoon, but for Bride of Frankenstein, I'm still. I want to go for a pinup as well, but looking at reference,
Yours will beat mine.
she's not
For
that
sure.
sexy, right? She's not that sexual, in the
Yeah.
movie. I mean, the movie has another kind of sexual content, so
Mhm.
I really wanna pay homage to the character, so I don't want to make her too slutty. And if you see my drawings, I tend to go for the sluttiness. So
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, so I don't want to take it there, because I want to have the energy, the feel of the classic Bride of Frankenstein. So somewhere around there.
Love it.
I considered doing the Bride of Frankenstein from the Huey Lewis in the News video, doing it all for my baby, because in that video they remake Huey as Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, and it's a delight because Huey Lewis in the News is the best band ever.
Nice.
I always forget that you're a huge Huey Lewis fan.
Don't take money. Don't take fame.
So I know.
Sorry, that's copyright. My bad.
It was less than 16 seconds. We're fine.
Yes. No mute.
Now, Ken, I know that you're going to Comic-Con. Alvaro, it sounds like you're heading to New York this week also. Is that for New York Comic-Con?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was for me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm heading for Comic-Con.
Awesome.
Pay my dues, to the big ones, and look for work, and for an agent, and maybe a girlfriend. I don't know.
Have you been to the New York Comic-Con before?
Yes. I have. I've been lucky enough to. I've been there twice, just before the pandemic, on 2019, and on 2017. So yeah.
Okay.
It's. I think it's a good investment. Like there are some things that there's no way you can do via email. Like I've been working lately for the guys at Cenescope. I reached them during the pandemic, so I just know their faces through Instagram and stuff. So I think that going out there and shaking their hands and saying, "Hey, this is me," talking to them, getting to know me, uh, the only result is positive, like
Yeah, love it.
to be linked. And other guys like Geoff Mart, you know, the which he represents artists, and he kind of showed some interest in me. So I think it's a good investment. It's an investment because it's not cheap to go to New York, but I think it's a good one. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
And thanks for rubbing it in, Jed, that I'm not going to be there.
That was
No,
gonna
you're
be my
not.
next question. Was
Have you been? Have you ever been?
No, actually, I haven't been to New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con. I've actually never been to a Comic Con.
No.
Nope. The nearest one is Kansas City Comic Con. It's like Planet Comic Con. It's in April of next year. I will be there at that one.
And Ken, you're going, correct?
Yeah, this is the first time in a very long time that I'll be in Artist Alley. So I'm psyched about that. I'm psyched to be back in New York because it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been at New York Comic Con, so I'm psyched to see Jerry, and my friends from New York that are gonna make it in there.
Nice.
And you know, my apprehension is my level is a little better controlled because I had heroes down here. And it was fun to be back in a convention environment. I'm happy that New York is requiring masks. I know I'm all set with my most recent booster and flu shot, so I'm feeling pretty good to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just go visit Jerry's stand. He'll get you good and drunk on some whiskey.
Oh, Jerry's right next to me in Artist Alley.
Oh, no way. Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
this is the first year he's not doing a booth. So that's
right.
Oh, no kidding.
He's not doing t-shirts anymore. He's just really focusing on his books going forward. So I'm psyched for him.
Hell yeah. Awesome. We went there, was it last year? It was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
And Jerry had just like boxes of whiskey that he was just like handing out drinks to everybody. It was awesome.
Yeah. And Jerry's booth is always awesome. So I do miss that like oasis in the middle of like, and it's a prime spot too. But it was just time for him to move on to just really focusing on the books, and Artist Alley is a better opportunity.
Sweet.
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't know. Did you have anything, Chad?
Nope. I mean, that's kind of all that we had prepared for
Yeah.
you guys. I mean, we definitely appreciate you coming on. But before we close out, I mean, where can people find you and see your art and get in touch with you?
For me, everything is my name to try and make it simple. So it's KenKnudtsen.com for my website, and at Ken Knudtsen for all my social media stuff. And definitely check out every Wednesday morning the hashtag Battle of the Sketches. And algorithm providing, most of the group pops up pretty quickly.
Excellent. Tony,
how are you guys? How are you guys showing this stuff on all things your website and stuff?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a gallery page. So it'll get updated weekly with that week's drawing. We'll, link to every artist and, their name, where to find them online, where they're located. And then we'll also set up a store page for those that want to sell their prints as well. But yeah, so it'll be on our webpage. We'll also post or repost to our Instagram and like share to our stories and stuff like that as well. So gonna try and get it in front of as many people as possible.
I think one of the cool things is what the idea came up for, like what we're doing with the proceeds, right?
Yeah. So for any print that gets sold, 50% of the proceeds go back to the artist. And then the other 50% is going to go into a pool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find a local comic shop here. Jake and I are in Minnesota. So we'll go to a local comic shop here, get a bunch of gift cards that we'll then use as giveaways. But we'll make sure that obviously they ship so that you don't have to come to Minnesota just to buy some comics. So we'll make sure that they ship, and we'll be doing some giveaways both on a live stream episode as well as like an actual contest probably in December, because we'll let the gallery and store be up through the end of November.
Yep. How about you guys? Where can people find you guys? And then we'll, like Chad said, we'll add all the links and all that stuff. But just for people who are listening, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, which that looks backward, right?
No, it looks good. It looks good.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It's Feliu, which is my last name, DD.
Perfect.
So for now, Instagram. You can look me up in Facebook,
I'm gonna add you right now.
It's obsolete. So I'm following you guys. I think I'm following Chad at least. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I think you're following the podcast site. I'm gonna follow you from my personal site here.
Cool.
And then Tony, I know that you are online as Simple Man. Do you also have like an online gallery or like a website of your own that?
I have a Facebook page right now that's A. Daniels Artwork. If you follow me on Instagram, or I don't know how to link to it, just look for Tony Daniels on Facebook, and it should be linked on my profile page.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but it is A. Daniels Artwork on Facebook. I can send you guys a link through the Instagram chat.
Perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on Instagram, and I do stream on Twitch. I stream every Sunday. Yeah, those three are my main platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. So
excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the episode. Once the episode is actually up, we'll obviously send you guys a link so that if you want to share it, you can. Or if you just want to watch your beautiful faces talk about art, no one's going to judge that either. Anyways, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, you guys have a great rest of your night.
You too, man. Thanks for letting me.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you,
Nice
guys.
to see you guys.
Can't wait to see what you guys, continue to turn in. So
same.
Thanks.
Holy shit, that was awesome. I love those guys. That was a lot of fun. My name's Jake, and I'm the best podcaster on the show. Chad had scripted something else for me to say there, and I'm not going to say it.
It was so funny, and it looked like you were going to go and just follow it word for word, and I almost spit out my drink. But seriously, that was an awesome interview. We can't wait for the coming weeks with all the other artists. Oh yeah,
Yeah. We also can't thank you guys enough for being on our show. I almost said coming on our show, but we just made that joke.
Yeah. Yeah, so every week this month we will be having interviews with different artists that are participating in the Battle of the Sketches, part of our collaboration, and we're just excited to bring you their art and their who they are. And we'll link to all of them in our show notes as well each week. So if you want to see more of their artwork.
And some of them like work for like comic books and stuff that you would probably know.
Yeah. Like I know Ken in the past has he's also been on the show before when he was running his Kickstarter for My Monkey's Name is Jennifer. He's done some Marvel comics in the past. Alvaro, who is super awesome, he has done a lot of like indie artwork, and Tony is an incredible artist, and he's trying to get to that point where he can make that his full-time thing. So we have some professional artists and some aspiring artists, and the talent that we'll be bringing to you through all these artists is just incredible. We're so excited for it. Enough gushing over these wonderful people. Let's talk about Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, learn a little bit more about it, and we'll be right back with you. Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, everyone. Spoiler alert before we get any further than this point. But we are going to start talking about episode 7 of House of the Dragon. If you haven't watched it yet, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Go ahead. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that's the way it was.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
So this episode picks up just a couple of weeks after the end of the last episode because it is the funeral for Lena Valerian. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was gross.
She barbecued herself using her own dragon to do it, and her baby.
Yeah. Well, there was a 50-50 chance that the baby would survive, and she was going to die either way. So she's like, going out on my terms. Deuces.
I was wrong on my theory about that one.
Yep.
I definitely thought that the baby was fireborn, so like they were basically gonna show her like charred body, and there's gonna be like a baby like crawling out of her like ashes. Like, yeah, nope, that's not what happened. They both died.
Yep, they both died. And so the Valyrians bury their dead at sea, much like the Targaryens burn their dead. So it's a funeral procession, and her casket gets just yeeted into the sea off of a cliff, and that's pretty much it. Episode over.
Yep, see you guys.
But at kind of like the post funeral wake, I guess, kind of like the
drinks. It's like a party.
Yeah. Tensions
Some-
are high
Yeah.
from everyone. No one is having a good time except for Aegon. He's
I was
just
like,
drinking himself silly.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because this was actually the first scene that they filmed with the older cast and everything like that.
Mhm.
So they weren't comfortable with each other to begin with, and it really plays through in the scene because everyone just kind of like their lines to each other are kind of cold because it's just there's so much tension between all the characters anyways that this just worked so well, which I thought was really really cool to learn. The funeral party, whatever.
Tears and beers.
Tears and beers. Couple people get dragged out because they get drunk and then make a scene. Like Aegon basically passes out on the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Laenor gets drunk and like goes out to the beach to cry and mourn his sister. And the whole scene, even though it's like an 8-minute long scene, like there's like I said, there's a lot of tension and it kind of drags on, but it sets the tone.
Yeah. Really sets the bone for or the tone, sorry. While everyone else is crying, uncle and niece are spreading cheeks.
Well, they're spreading thighs and clapping cheeks. No, that's actually after the celebration has ended, but they kind of like Daemon and Rhaenyra take a walk on the beach. Well, we know what walks on the beach lead to. Jake.
Cocks on the beach.
Yeah. It's very cousin fuckery, even though
Yeah.
it's uncle and niece.
Let's go, dragon.
Yeah. But there is a moment, because during that scene, they played out like it's all like sensual and intimate, but it's just kind of like your family. This is weird.
Yeah.
We see Aemon Targaryen, which is Alicent's second-born son,
Mhm.
the one that doesn't have a dragon, that's been teased and bullied. We see him walking on the beach as well, and it seems like he's going to spot.
And we know what happens when you go for walks on the beach.
Yeah. Especially with family. No, but it seemed like he was going to catch Rhaenyra and Daemon, but really he is trying to find Laena, her dragon, which is also the biggest dragon in the show.
So big.
So big. Wow.
Like
You're just like
veiny.
really hooked on it being like a veiny, triumphant bastard, You're just like hooked on
No, the
that
kid was
sentiment
the
of the show.
bastard.
Not this one.
Oh no, he's not the bad. Damn it, I fucked it up.
But he goes to claim Laena's dragon because it no longer has a rider. And so Aemon keeps trying to like sneak up on the dragon because he thinks that if he can get it up on the saddle, that means that the dragon is now his. But the dragon keeps turning and looking at him, and I did forget to write down what the dragon's name is, so I do apologize. But keeps looking at him and is like, "Fuck off, kid." In Benedict Cumberbatch's voice. No, but at one point the dragon opens its jaw. It looks like it's about to breathe fire on Aemon, and Aemon starts giving it commands in Old Valyrian, their mother tongue.
Yeah.
And the dragon's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Dragon basically says, "Yes, daddy. Get on."
That was better. But it's really funny because, like, Aemon then climbs up into the saddle, like, gets himself situated, and then tells the dragon to fly. And because this dragon is massive, and this kid has also never ridden dragon, just is, like, hanging on by a rope, like, ah!
Yeah.
He's a wacky waving arm inflatable flailing two man. And it's just hilarious.
It is, but it leads to some drama. The kids of
Laena.
Laena. I almost said Lenore. Laena.
Yeah, that's the brother.
Yeah. Laena's two daughters see him riding the dragon. They're pissed, and they confront him.
Because the youngest daughter, her dragon egg never hatched, so she was going to try and claim that dragon to honor her mother as well.
Yeah. And they're pissed. And they get into a physical altercation. And joining them
A couple of kids who were up to no good started making trouble in their neighborhood.
Yeah, in the dungeons. In the dungeon hood.
They got in one little fight. Allison got scared. Said you're moving with your auntie and dad in Bel Air. Sorry.
I was trying to incorporate like somehow how do I put I was waiting to like insert like someone lost the eye but in that like song, and I couldn't figure out where to do it.
Playing some highball out by the school.
Yeah. Listen, some eyeballs up by the school. Yeah. Anyways, kids get in a fight. I really enjoyed it because I was pulling for this kid because they're teasing him so bad in the last episode, and I was like, I just want this kid to like kick someone's ass, and literally it was 4-on-1, and he just beats. I mean, I obviously do not condone hitting females, but in a 4-on-1 situation, yeah. So
Also, not
awesome.
to say that like a strong female could not beat the shit out of either one of us. But like, he's ganged up on, and he just like is slapping everybody around.
Dude, it was. I literally yelled at my TV. I was like, yes, because he just like, the first punch that's thrown is to one of these girls who is like, I'm gonna hit him. He's not gonna do anything, and he just goes,
Well,
whack.
she hits him first, and then he's
Yeah.
like, okay, bam.
It's hilarious.
You-
Not in real life. It's not funny in
well,
real life.
if you
but
play
in this
silly
game-
games, you win silly prizes.
Yeah, but it was I really enjoyed this because up until now they've kind of showed this kid as kind of
Like
a
an outcast.
pushover. Yeah, kind of a pushover, and he literally just bodied like 4 people by himself, and I was like, yeah, dude. And then one of them pulls out a knife and cuts his eyeball out, and you're like, oh,
Yeah. But the reason that they pulled the knife is because he calls Rhaenyra's kids bastards.
Yeah,
I mean, they are, but
yeah,
calls them that, and they're like, fuck you, gloves off, bitch.
yeah,
And they like pull a knife. He picks up a rock, is literally about to smash one of Rhaenyra's kids' heads in with a stone, and then he throws sand, and then
Yeah.
the other brother just like slices his face and just
yeah.
no more eyeball.
No more eyeball. I mean,
That's fine.
technically the eyeball was there, but they said they couldn't save it.
Yeah, it's
They
just
got
it
sliced.
got split in half, so it's just it's
Like-
gone.
Like his, I was gonna say,
Like his
like Rhaenyra on
Uh,
the beach with her uncle.
yeah stepsister, half sister, half
I
sister,
don't know.
same dad.
Mm.
It's a whole bunch of Jerry Springer shit. But so his face is cut up. There's a big altercation, basically just kind of like in the common room, the great room of the keep that they're at. Allison is out for blood,
Yeah,
even though it's kids.
yeah.
Like she
Well,
wants to just like
that's kind of the funny part about, in my opinion. What I thought it was funny about it was that this is the King Viserys. This is his second born son that just lost his eye. I mean, they're literally stitching his eye closed, like in this scene. And though he doesn't say it like this, he kind of is just like, ugh, boys will be boys. You know, like
Yeah,
he like
he's
tries to. He's
super
like, all right,
indifferent.
well, this sucks, but let's get past it. And Alicent is like, no, fuck that. Then she commands Kristen, I call him Kristen instead of Kriston. But she commands him to cut out one of Rhaenyra's kids' eyes, and shit gets tense.
But he like hesitates because he's like, "You want me to
He
maim a
can't-
child?"
Well, he like kind of stepped forward, I thought it looked like, and then he like stops himself and he's like, nope, I'm sworn to protect you. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she even like calls that out. She's like, "You're my sworn protector. Like, do as you're commanded." And he's like, "Hey, like,
Yeah.
I may be a piece of shit person, but like, you want me just to like maim a child?"
Lady, don't put me on the spot. Come on.
God, Mom, stop! You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, it was but she gets so pissed that she takes her husband's knife and goes after Rhaenyra's kids herself. And then Rhaenyra steps in front of her. They kind of lock arms, and I was so hoping it was going to happen, and they teased you with it, but they didn't give it to you. Is Kristen then steps down to like get involved, and then Daemon like stops Kristen from
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, whoop his ass. Whoop.
Yeah, and it's like it's a long awaited rematch between Kristen and Daemon, going all the way back to episode 1 when
Mhm.
Kristen beats Daemon in the tournament. But also since then, Daemon has killed tons of people.
Mhm.
And Daemon is just like plotting for the throne. Like he just wants it.
Yeah.
Kind of like his niece. Sorry. Just remembering some of the jokes that we made that will not be in this episode. But because Kristen gets stopped, Damon basically just like holds him back. He's like, "Nah, you don't want to do this, bitch." Alicent and Rhaenyra kind of have like a hushed conversation where Rhaenyra's like, "Oh look, you fucked up. Everyone can see that you fucked up.
Yeah.
Go fuck
So
yourself."
everyone sees you for who you really are now. And then she cuts a bitch.
Yeah, Alicent cuts a bitch.
Allison cuts a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, and but Rhaenyra just kind of like takes it. You know, she like
She took that blade like she took her uncle.
yeah, just kind of like stared off into the void. No, she steps back. Damon comes to her side, protects the kids. There's blood. Ugh. Oh shit.
God damn it.
Jesus. Has nothing to do with this. Anyways, Damon and Rhaenyra then have a conversation about how they need to join forces, combine their houses, because now that Laena's dragon has been claimed for Alicent's children, or child, they need to have a formidable force of their own. So they decide that they're going to get married. Damon's like, that can't happen because you're still married. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm not going to be a tyrant queen, but...
Well, technically, he says, we can't get married while your husband still lives. And she's
Right.
like, oh, yeah, I got a plan for that. And yeah, then go ahead. Sorry.
And they basically, while they're talking about, you know, their plan, you kind of see it like in action as well, that they're basically plotting to get Laenor out of the picture. Damon convinces his lover to strike him down for a bunch of gold. You see a fight break out. You also see Damon snap some random dude's neck.
No.
And then,
I was literally like, who the fuck did he just kill?
yeah, I thought maybe it was like a guard.
Yeah.
Turns out it was a body double. Because they faked Laenor's death so that he can go and be free with his lover with a fuck ton of money someplace where their names mean nothing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because that's all Laenor really wanted, was just to be free and to be who he is, not have to deal with duty and honor.
He just wanted to eat duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like, goose, you know?
Well, ducks have a lot more bones.
Doing. But then the episode ends with the
Wedding.
incestual wedding, yes, of Damon and Rhaenyra. Their kids are watching. It's weird. They like cut their lips so that when they kiss, they just, you know,
Get
share
AIDS and die.
all the diseases. And then they also cut their hands and then hold their hands so that also all the diseases. But it happens. It's been leading up to this point since episode 1.
Yeah.
Very clearly. But now they have 4 dragons. Because both of Rhaenyra's sons have dragons.
Yep.
She has a dragon. Damon has a dragon. Oh, 5 dragons, because also one of Damon's daughters has a dragon.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So there's dragons for days.
Yeah. So we'll see. I know between this episode and next episode, they showed the preview. There's another time jump. The kids look much older.
It's probably another like 5 years
Maybe a
or
little
so.
more, I think. Looks like maybe 10. Because the one kid who got his eye removed looked like he was like 20.
Yeah, but he was like 13-ish. So,
Yeah.
yeah, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
both wrong, we're both right. Mm.
But anyways, yeah. So that's the show. And we'll see you guys later. No, I'm just kidding.
But in all seriousness, we are going to go ahead and start closing out this episode.
But before we do, we have our honorable mentions for the week. I have two of them. One is Daybreakers, starring Ethan Hawke and Willem Dafoe and Sam Neill. This movie is about vampires in the future are basically running the world, but humans, as their food source, are running out. So a small group of humans recruit Ethan Hawke, who is a vampire who does not eat humans, but he's also a very smart scientist to help them find a cure. Blah blah blah. Super good for what it is, which is just a ridiculously gory vampire movie. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I've
I've yet
also
to
seen
watch
it
that
like I was gonna say, I've also seen it like 6 times. So I enjoy it. The other one is the big one of the week was Hocus Pocus 2. Um, eh. I really enjoyed the first one. I was also a little kid when the first one came out. Since then, it's become a nostalgia thing for a lot of people my age. To
Yeah.
rewatch Hocus Pocus around spooky season. They did announce last year that they were making this movie, and it finally released. We watched it, my girlfriend and I, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't like I hate this fucking movie, but it wasn't great. Um, yeah. So take that however you want. There is an after credit scene. I won't spoil anything. I don't want the honorable mentions are just to fly through real fast. So I won't
Yeah.
talk about the movie. There's an end credit scene, so watch that. Yeah, there you go. Honorable mentions. Chadley, any for you?
Nope, I've been just like binging Modern Family like I was last week.
Hmm.
Loving it. Lily
Mhm.
is my favorite character.
Who?
Lily?
Oh, the kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's awesome.
She's
I told you.
hilarious.
She gets really funny the older she gets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just sassy as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But for our normal housekeeping closing notes, like we had mentioned last week, and I think even the week before, we dropped Patreon because they have some very disgusting scandals going on around them that they are doing nothing to fix. So
They've actually like fired people for trying to fix it.
yeah. So we're no longer associated with Patreon. We did find a new replacement. It's called buymeacoffee.com. But if you know us, that is really buy me a beer. I updated it so it says that on the actual page.
Nice.
But what's cool about it is, so you still get, it's a monthly subscription to where you get some exclusive merch, but also it allows for one-off donations. So literally, if you want to buy us a beer, super awesome. You can do that. You'll get some behind the scenes footage, full unedited interviews. This month would be an awesome time to join because we have so many interviews lined up. There's all of that. And it's just a great way to support the show if you like what we're doing. If not, and you don't want to just do like a one-off monetary donation, but you actually want to get something for it, we do still have our web store that's still up and running. There should be some new spooky season merch dropping by the end of this week. All that. And we love you guys. And thank you for being a part of this. And
Thanks for stopping by.
yeah, to another week of the All Things Nerd podcast. Seriously, cheers, everyone. We love you.